Friends, Romans, and Patriots, lend me your ears. Strap on your tinfoil hats because it's time for the Gay Frog Chat. Gay Frog Chat is a weekly panel discussion where we go chin deep into something. This week we got a couple new guests. Your friend isn't here yet, but he said he was coming. He hopped in for just a second. So we'll do introductions here in just a second.
Okay.
But we'll be talking about a little bit of everything tonight. We got a whole bunch of subjects pulled up. However much you guys want to talk about any individual subject, I'm totally cool with. Try to not interrupt each other, but also it's kind of a free-for-all in this chat, so be ready for that as well. But hope you guys are all doing well tonight. I am E. Honda, as always, your host. Tonight, we are joined, as always, by Leo Red. How you doing, Leo?
Oh, man. Just enjoying this nice day of Chicago while we still have 70-degree weather.
Yeah, it's about to get cold up there, huh?
Yeah, it's about to end. Right, that's going to end quick. So.
Yep. We've got Ohio Patriot. How do you do, Ohio?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm going to be doing some stuff on my channel this week relating to the midterms. So
nice. Very good. Very good. Corey Long Dong Schlong. How do you do?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. Just enjoying the cooler weather, too.
Very nice. We are joined for the first time by Too Much Moxie. How are you, Too Much Moxie?
Oh, man, fantastic, man. Thank you for having me on the show, man. I'm excited. Thank you.
Right on. And if you could, since you're new to the show, can you give us a brief introduction as to what your channel is and what you do?
Yeah, my channel is the Too Much Moxie podcast. I talk a lot about I advocate for men, but I talk a lot about modern women, relationships, a little bit on politics, not too much, but just more on men being direct, men being intentional, men moving in their masculinity.
Nice. I feel like that's really needed, man, and I appreciate you coming on. That's awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, Hondo, while I'm thinking about it, why don't you drop a link to his channel so if anyone is so inclined to follow him to see what he's about, then they can.
It is already in the description of the video below. If you guys look at the very bottom, it's already there.
My bad. Awesome.
Yeah.
Just trying to help out.
You're good, dude. No, I appreciate it. That's good looking out. Van Drake, how do you do?
I'm awesome.
Right on, man. Very good, very good. Good to see you again. And Let On Steel is here.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
How you doing, man?
Going on.
Doing pretty good. What's up, buddy?
So basically what we do here on the show is I go to Twitter and I pull up a bunch of curated memes and stories and videos and whatever I can find, and we kind of go through them and give comment and talk about whatever you end up talking about. And if the conversation takes a left turn, all the fucking better. You know, I'm happy with that. So that being said, we got a doozy for the first one. Girlfriend, my mother didn't teach me how to cook. Me, she didn't teach you how to suck cock either, but but look at you go. Oh man. I don't know. That reminds me of that Sublime song. It's like, who taught you that new trick? Oh, I shouldn't start that talk. You know, like, I don't know, man. There's a lot of girls out there who, and especially with the way that these dating apps work these days, they're just like, I deserve better than you. It's like they have this attitude of like, oh, I'm not with you. I let you be with me kind of thing going on. And it gets kind of old and gets kind of tiring. And the whole dating scene these days is freaking insane. Like, I'm single at this point for a fucking reason, you know, like, yeah. I can basically get what I want from chicks if I want to, and I don't have to commit to a relationship. I'm not saying that I'm MGTOW or anything like that, but I feel like
exhausting after a while.
MGTOW, I feel like, is just an expression of game theory as to modern day dating in 2022. You know, like, what do you guys think about it?
Man, I think a lot of these women today, man, they're not trained to be wives, man. They're not trained to be in a relationship. They're trained to be independent. They're trained to be, you know, entitled. You know, that, you know, yeah, she can suck some dick, but she can't cook. That's typical women.
I mean, I'm glad I can't say that about mine.
Yeah, I've got a good one.
She 26 and cook like a 70-year-old grandma.
Oh, nice. Nice.
That mug can cook, boy.
That's a blessing, man. You know,
Oh,
and it also depends on what region you're into. See, I'm in California, man, so the women out here acting like that. It's not happening.
yeah, I'm in Illinois.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you'll
my
be
Hey, it ain't
lucky.
much better.
good. I
You'll
was
be
gonna
lucky.
say, oh damn it, go. You go. Well, I was just gonna say my ex and I, like when we were together, she'd cook dinner. It'd be like this bland, like boiled chicken or whatever it was, like ugh. And I make dinner and it's actually pretty good, but I had to learn how to cook from a young age because of reasons and family stuff, and basically like I've been living on my own since I was 16 years old. I'm about to be 41, so more than half of my life I've cooked more than the majority of the meals I've eaten. So it's one of those things that I guess you have to learn these days, huh?
See,
Yeah.
and that's one of the reasons why I got my passport, man. To be honest with you, man, I saw the writing on the wall with the women here in the U.S. and America, man, and I said I don't subscribe to that, man. I put women in their place all the time. I was raised by a single father. Maybe that's why I'm hard on women, but my dad taught me respect, respect, respect. It's better to have respect than it is to be loved. You go for respect. You tell people what you want. You tell people where you stand, and if they don't rock with you, they don't rock with you. It's okay. There'll be somebody else that will. So I flew overseas, man. I got a wife. I've been married for like 4 years, man. I got an African wife, man. And as they say, the royal penis is clean. That's the way.
Coming to America reference. I love it. That's awesome.
That's the way it should be. Women, the women out there, they know how to treat a man. They know how to
Oh
cater to
yeah.
them, and they
Mhm.
care about their man. That's the difference. They actually care. They're sincere. Now you're gonna find women that just want to use you to get a green card and come overseas, but that if you're a simp in the States, you're gonna be a simp in another country too. So, you gotta know how to vet these women and know who you're talking to. And if you get a woman that's like extremely out of your league, she's probably extremely out of your league.
I feel like there is like okay, like if you I spent okay, so like if you go to a different country, like an Asian country or something like that, and you're a white guy or a black guy, you're American, right? You're there, you are exotic to them. Which if your sexual market value, your number is like 7 normally. You go overseas, I think it jumps up like 2 points, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So I feel like, if you really wanted to find a chick who's a little bit hotter and wants to take care of you and that stuff, that's not a bad idea, man.
I mean, that's the solution to today's marketplace, man. I mean, the women in America aren't going to change. You know that, right? They're just going to keep getting worse. As long as the family court system stay the same, as long as men continue to be weak and not speaking up, as long as we continue to have simps in these women inboxes,
And there's way too many simps, man.
Mm-hmm.
it's never gonna change. It's only gonna get worse. And then it's gonna seep over into other countries and so you have a short amount of time to really travel and get the right chick, because eventually in the next 20, 30 years, feminism is gonna affect all countries.
Yep.
I have to admit, in the early 2000s, I was king simp. You could have crowned me king simp. I don't know what I was thinking back then.
I wasn't never one. Never will be.
With me, I just could never really get along or really vibe with anyone my age for years. And then finally, my wife, she's actually 12 years older than me. So I'm not saying that's the solution for everybody, but it worked for me. I'm almost 40 and
yep. They want a traditional man, but don't want to be a traditional woman.
Exactly.
Yep.
Man, exactly. And they want, and here's the issue though. Here's the real biggest thing, especially in the black community. Baby mama. What if you're a 41-year-old man with no children and you want a woman with no children? Where are you going to find one at?
You'll be better off finding a unicorn.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good luck with that.
By the time you're 40, yeah.
3-year-old girls with 5 kids already talking about, I'm looking for a stepdaddy.
Jesus.
Shoot. As soon as they're
My girl
16, they
26,
already
we
got
got
1
3.
kid.
That hurts my balls for you to say that.
Man, you need to get your passport, my brother, and you need to go fly to Thailand, fly to the Philippines, fly to Africa, shoot Ukraine. I would say Ukraine, but it's in war torn right now. There's good women out there. Croatia, go to Croatia. Beautiful women, the most beautiful women in the world. Croatian women, right? Tall, beautiful, blonde, in shape. You can go to Morocco. You can go to Morocco right now in Africa and find some of the most beautiful Arab women that you can imagine that are traditional. That will bring culture to your family and to your children and raise your kids up the way you want them to be raised, not these effeminate males that they're trying to push out into the population right now.
Nice. Yeah, I agree, dude. Honestly, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm probably saying you're probably fucking right on, dude. You're absolutely right. We got a new guest too, Walter.
Yo.
How's it going, man?
Pretty good. I'm hearing y'all chopping it up. I liked it. I like it.
Can you give us a short introduction for yourself and what you do?
My name is Walter Downing. I work in the transport, like I drive trucks and whatnot, but for the last 20 some odd years, I did singles and couples ministry, life coach things. And so, I'm getting up there, 40 plus, you know? So, and I help out, I do speaking engagements, help out communities and get in where I fit in.
Nice, man. Well, welcome to the chat. We're about the same age. I'm going to be 41 here in, God, less than 2 months. Jesus Christ. How the hell did that happen? Not sure, man. Not sure. But welcome to the chat. And, it's kind of a free-for-all here, so jump in when you can and try, everyone's trying not to interrupt each other's.
I will say this real quick, though. There's a gentleman in the chat said, that his wife is like, I think he said like an older woman, like 12 years older than him.
Yeah, she's 12 years older.
I'm glad that works for you, and that's amazing. But I would recommend my man on my channel that if you are someone, that you should not be dating an older woman. You should be dating a younger woman with less body count, less miles, less damage, and she should be there to help you bring up and bring a legacy, raise children. So
I understand that. Yeah, we've actually been. We just celebrated 11 years together. So
good, man. That's good. I mean, there's exceptions to the rules, man. So I'm proud of you that you're able to make that work. That's a beautiful thing. But usually, women who are older, when they get younger men, they try to manipulate them and they try to do those things that these modern women do. And when you're younger, they really try to take advantage of that.
Daniel dropped in $2 and said Honda to Thailand fun.
Yeah, I've been there once.
Just make sure you do a Adam's apple check first.
Yeah, you got to.
All right, then there's this meme.
In Thailand, they tell you though. In Thailand, they don't hide it. They'll tell you. So that's the difference.
Don't be fooled by appearances. These two women are skilled thieves. They ask for a ride in your car, and then while the blonde has sex with you, the brunette steals your wallet. Trust me, they've robbed me 6 times so far.
Don't you just hate when that happens?
Yeah, I know. They just keep robbing me.
Yeah, I know we kind of joke about that, but at the same time, people will only do something that there's fans for. If there's not fans for it, they're not really going to do it. And so, if they know that somebody's going to keep on giving in and doing it just because they're lonely or whatever, then they're going to continue the behavior. So should we kind of need like a men's movement to where it's like, hey, we're about to stop doing this? Because if you notice, us as men, we don't have spokespeople, a certain like public culture, it's just kind of like, hey, just go out there and do.
Dude, I 100% agree with you. And these are issues that I've tried to get on this channel before, to be honest, and have had a lot of pushback against it, even from within the community. You know, like we're First Amendment, Second Amendment, you know, like freedom loving American kind of channel that talks about conspiracies and, you know, like modern events and whatever's going on, you know, and stuff like that. But yeah, it's something that gets a lot of pushback in a way that I don't really like, and it doesn't make sense. And then, like, especially, you know, you see these public forums or whatever where it's like a men's group, and all these women are like laughing at it and making fun of it and saying this and that about it, you know. But then, like, how many women's groups are there? How many like battered wives shelters are there? You know, and I've been through that on the other end. Like, I was with, basically, I don't know if you guys followed the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard trial at all.
Yeah.
But she had this thing called what was the name of that personality disorder? Damn it, I can't remember it right now.
Histrionics.
Well, that was one of them.
No,
She had another one too.
Oh, that one too.
Damn it, I can't remember it. Well, my ex has this shit too, right? Where she just fucking treats you like shit and fucking puts you through the ringer, and then like 5 minutes later, she's like treating you really nice, and then things are really good, and then 5 minutes later, it's like treating you like shit again. It's like, dude, what did I fucking do?
Yeah, the borderline personality disorder.
What is it?
Borderline personality disorder.
Thank you. Yes, borderline personality disorder. And if you ever meet a chick who says, I've been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, run the fuck away.
Run the fuck away.
Yes.
That's the thing with me. My first wife, she was cool in the beginning, and when she got pregnant with our son, she fucking just lost her shit, or either, you know, revealed her true identity. But she went batshit crazy, and she actually, you know, put her hands on me multiple times. That's what ultimately led to us divorcing, is because I'm not going to play that shit. I'm not going to be in a domestic violence situation. And I was raised never to hit a woman. And so I didn't put my hands on her.
Well,
now that's kind of evolved over the years. You know, I will defend myself if need be, but.
Did you call the police on her? Did you ever, you know, put her behind, you know, bars for
I tried, but her parents and her family were so like on her side that they told me, even her mom pulled me aside and said, if you press this, you know, basically they'll bury me.
Well, and like the end of the relationship with the chick that I was talking about, with the,
they got smoked right then and there. You threatened my life.
The baby mama, the one that I was with for 6 years that I've got 2 kids with, like, she would fucking get physical with me, and like she'd get bruises on her arm where I like grabbed her to fucking stop her from hitting me and stuff like that. And then she'd take pictures of the bruise on her arm and send it to her mom and send it to her sister and send it to her dad and say this and that. And yeah, and she did end up going to jail for a couple of days because she hit me in the head with an ashtray at one point. But that's a whole fucking other story. Jesus.
Yeah.
She never.
Go ahead. No, I was just gonna say that's why she or her family said they would make sure I was buried in jail, because she had a few little bruises on her arms from that last big fight that we had, where she damn near broke my nose. She fucking hit me so hard my glasses flew about 50 feet and landed behind the TV. And when I called them and said, hey, you need to come get your daughter now, I was standing out front. It was cold. I was barefoot in pajama pants. That's it. And blood just all over my chest. And they still chose to take her side. Yeah, I was fucking. What can you do? I mean, like Moxie said, or whoever it was that said, there's no support for fucking men in that aspect. They're always going to believe the woman unless you have video evidence. And even then, good luck.
Yeah, man, you got to have a camera at all times when you have altercation with women, just for backup and proof. And you got to be, you really got to have your phone. You really got to be ready to call the police too, to come down there and pick them up when they get irate and they try to tear your stuff up, because they're never going to.
The main thing, you got to call first.
Yeah. As long as you keep letting them get away with it, they're going to do it. They're going to keep doing it. They're going to do it to you. They're going to do it to the next guy and the next guy. But the moment they run up against that one guy that's going to put them in their place, it's going to change everything. They're going to slow down, because when they start seeing that guys are not afraid to call the police, guys are not afraid to be so-called shamed, like they be trying to do. Oh, you're not a man if you call the police. You know, you want equality? We're gonna give it to you. We're gonna treat you just like a man in this situation. We're gonna call the police. We're gonna do everything we can. We're gonna put you behind bars. We're gonna make your life a living hell. Matter of fact, we're gonna get alimony. You're not gonna get alimony. We're gonna get child support. We're not gonna give you the chance to get child support because the way the system is going right now, it's out. We are allowing these women to invade our spaces and kick us out of the spaces that we're in. How does that make sense?
Well, and especially in the courts, dude. Like, I feel like when a child is young, they need their mother more than their father, right? When a child gets to like the, teenage years, though, they need their father way more than they need their mother. They need their father to step up and someone who can stand up to them and beat their ass if need be. I'm not saying like you should beat your kid's ass, but like they need to have the fear of dad in them. You need to have that role model that stands up and goes to work and does stuff right and tells the truth and everything. And if they don't have that, then you get like Daryl Brooks, like that fucking. Have you guys been watching that trial at all?
No. Who is Daryl Brooks? Who's that?
He was the guy in Waukesha, whatever the name of that city is, who drove in an SUV through the parade.
Oh wow!
And now he's defending himself in court, and he's using. Oh my god, dude! I can't even describe what's going on. You can tell his dad was not there. You can tell he never had a dad.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like when I used to do prison ministry and whatnot, if you go in there and actually talk to a lot of the younger guys locked up, they'll say, "Hey, I wish I had somebody to tell me not to do this, to get into my ass and tell me like, hey, I'm not about to allow you to do this." And not a lot of them, they're mad because there was like I was hovered as a kid, and I mean, even if you look at the story, me and Moxie talk about it all the time. Moxie and I talk about it all the time with Bobby Brown. His mom was like, "Hey, you can do whatever," and that's how he turned out like that. So, we do need fathers, but we live in a hypocritical society because the society, they want to say, okay, women, you're empowered to do this, you're empowered to do that. But then when we try to operate as, out the factory as a man, all of a sudden that's misogynistic and so on and so forth. So we're not even allowed to exist within our identity unless that identity coincides with some type of entity or agenda.
Yeah, and it's gotten so bad that even men now, you sit there and try to be chivalrous and kind, and you just get fucking hated and shitted on constantly.
Or
they want their cake and eat it too.
Yeah.
Well, that's what got us in a lot of trouble was the chivalry because, I come from a Bible background, but a lot of times I look at things from a secular point of view as well. Whether you're from a Bible background or secular or whatever, if we look at the origins of things, the origins of a lot of things for men and women were supposed to work together. It was the rich people that started the male chivalry and the toxic male chivalry, and the less your wife had to do, the more of a noble person you was. But that didn't apply to, it didn't work out for, well, it didn't work out for them either, but it didn't work out for the poorer people as well. And so it just went on over the years, and it created the entitled woman person, the entitled women. And so much so to where when I do sessions and I teach singles and I teach couples, I have to say, hey, it's not happy wife, happy life. It's happy spouse, happy house. Because if the two of you can cultivate and look out for the health of one another, pretty soon one person is going to give, and it's not going to be pretty. And that's why we're getting into these situations that we see here, because as we grow up as young men, we're not taught as young men like, hey, happy spouse, happy house. But we're taught, hey, you got to please her.
Yep. Hey, let me get caught up on these super chats real quick so we don't get too far behind on them. Gerald Cagney dropped in $2 and said, Honda's Adam's Apple Fund. I think he's referring to Thailand because there's a lot of ladyboys out there. Daniel dropped in 2 more and said, or we could send him back to DC to find a woman. Oh my God, dude. I don't ever want to go back to DC. That place is something else.
Maybe we
Yeah,
can hook him up with Nancy Pelosi.
Oh yeah, there is a big booty Latina available in DC. I heard. Fucking AOC. Would you date AOC? She got money though.
No.
At least. Dustin Butson said, "Maybe I'm just lucky, or maybe you all just don't know the wrong type of woman, or maybe both. But my wife, for almost 18 years, are married for 15. Wait, I've been with my wife for almost 18 years. I've been married for 15. Dude, there's, like if you find one young and you get lucky and things are good, and you find a good one who was raised right and you were raised right and things work out, then yeah, like I guess.
Yeah, he got lucky. He just got lucky. That's what it was. He lucked out. He didn't have to waste his time in the dating market like a lot of people do trying to find the right one. He lucked out. He found her early.
It's a blessing, is what it is. It's a blessing.
It is.
Okay, I did run across this too. Let me be clear. I do not give a fuck what happens to the anti-vaxxers. I don't. Let Darwin do his work. They helped kill 700,000 Americans. I don't have the pity or tears to spare any time for any of them. It's all dried up now. Sorry, at this point, I'm just hoping that they feel 1/10 of the pain that they've caused everyone else. The kids will be fine. They're going to suffer. And I fucking well think they've earned it. Right? That's one post. His next post is, yeah, I'm mostly here for personal ego. Already had COVID last year. Not worried about catching it, but I want to maintain my smug sense of moral intellectual superiority while making fun of Darwin anti-vaxxers. There's actually pretty noble, really. And then the next post is, Florida House District 23 progressive candidate and my friend Richard Rowe died unexpectedly. I wonder what from. While walking his dog Thursday, my thoughts are with his family and loved ones of Richard. Now, there's a lot of social pressure to take that fucking jab, man. Did you guys end up doing it? I guess if you travel overseas, you might have to, huh?
No, I'm not. I didn't take the jab. Didn't take the jab.
Nice.
I just went and got it.
What number is it on? Isn't it on like number 5 now?
I think so.
Well, they're saying like there's a new variant out that no jab or therapeutic covers or helps you with, and yet you should still get the Omicron variant jab because it's going to help you with Omicron. Like, fuck you, dude.
Man, I drink purple tea, man. I don't. Tea is health. Drink a lot of tea.
Well, and my name is eHonda420, right? Why is that? Well, I smoked weed for a really long time, and I don't anymore. I quit. It's been over a month ago now for health reasons because I don't want to be like that, and I was tired of feeling like foggy brained and like you're talking about religion. I had a conversation with God, and He told me to stop. And when God tells you to stop, you fucking stop.
There you go.
Amen.
Ain't never enough.
Right on.
How do you do?
What's up?
Nothing, man. We got some new guests on tonight.
Hey, what's up, brother?
What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
And Stephen Carroll's here too. What's up, Stephen? Dude, we got a full house.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, guys?
Going good, man. How are you?
Fantastic. I'm on my way to work, so that sucks, but whatever.
Okay, I thought
it was a blessing to have a job, so
we were talking about anagrams the other night. What is an anagram for mother-in-law? Can anyone tell me the answer?
No.
All right, just watch.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it, man.
That's pretty good.
That's rough.
I mean, when it's true, it's true. You can't fucking argue with truth.
Absolutely.
My fucking mother-in-law hated me and still kind of hates me, even though, it's been years since I was with her daughter. But yeah, she fucking hated me. All good. What are you going to do?
Has anybody noticed like the hypocrisy in like free speech? Like people talk about free speech, but it's like free speech is only allowed if it's like tied to some type of
narrative.
Yeah, if you're not doing exactly what they want to do, it's not free speech for them.
Yeah, because let somebody else go on a rant like that, from another faction or whatever. It'll be flagged, all kind of stuff.
Yep.
Well, there was the video that we were watching yesterday, and you guys couldn't hear it because StreamYard changed their shit, and now you can't hear it anymore. And I got to figure out a way to like buy a mixer and get my way around that or something. But there was the thing with it was a lady at some like college conference, and she was talking about the differences between men and women, and how like, well, one difference is men on average are taller than women, and blah blah blah. And like that, if you don't like that, I mean, you can not like that, but if you disagree with it, then you're basically ignoring a fundamental biological reality. And then all these blue-haired fucking freaks got up and walked out. One of them kicked over the audio stand and like made sure that no one else could hear what was said for the rest of the time. It's like, dude. And then they're in the hallway screaming Nazi, 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 this and that. It's like, who's the fucking Nazi? What did the Nazis do? They burned books because they were ideas that they didn't like, and they prevented people from hearing them. And what are you doing? You're kicking over fucking microphone stands so no one can hear anything that anyone says because you're a Nazi, apparently, while calling someone a Nazi, which is also a Saul Alinsky tactic, Rules for Radicals, Hillary Clinton's favorite book, and basically states, like, blame your enemy for the thing that you're guilty of, so when you get caught with evidence that you're guilty, it looks ridiculous. But yeah.
Yeah, we're in a point to where even information is being altered. Like they're coming up with the marginalized gender, and if you notice, it's just another form of sexism, because if you look up the definition of marginalized genders, there's only one gender that they exclude, and that's men. Like it's like cis women, trans, all that. Look up the definition of marginalized gender, and you're going to be like, hey, wait a minute. First they're calling them the minority, which is false, because a lot of men are the minority because we died in wars and blah blah blah. There's more women than men, right? So that's the false thing right there. But then when you look at the definition and it excludes men, to me that's just them taking a page out of the Jim Crow book and just doing gender segregation. So it's kind of weird.
Well, it's the same thing if you're
marginalized
white
today is African American conservatives. Like if you're a black conservative in America today, you get called every name in the book. Like if you happen to agree with like a Republican point of view of smaller government or limited government, or like pro Second Amendment or pro First Amendment freedom, like what do you get called? And I can't even say the names because it's fucked up, and like that's just the way it is. That's the way it goes.
It's your chat, so I'll say them if you want me to.
I mean,
no balls.
Dustin Butson dropped in $2 and said, "You're also not near as fat as E Honda from Street Fighter 2." LOL. I was heading for that for a little bit, man, during COVID. Jesus Christ. Not working and not being able to go out and hamburger meat. It'll get you. All right. Oh, Moxie's back. Dropped out. He's back in. Going back to the Second Amendment stuff, it's funny the misinformation that's spread around like peanut butter to all the people who don't know what's going on with the world, right? And they think that this button on the side of an AR-15 is the semi-automatic button, and all you got to do is drill it out, and you'll have a full automatic weapon. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Man, I didn't know that for all these years. Man.
Yeah.
Right. If we only knew.
Yep.
Is that why it jams my gun whenever I use it? Because it's not activated properly?
Yeah. You should get that fixed. I'll just put a little oil on it.
Yeah, you got to keep it lubed up.
Yeah, keep it lubed.
All right, so
I'll
going
just
along
spit on
the lines of what you guys were talking about the other day about Kanye with the White Lives Matter t-shirt. These were banners held across the highway, and I think this is San Francisco, or it was California somewhere, regardless. Honk if you know, Kanye's right about the Jews. Government TYTV, Revelations 3:9, John 8:44. What are you guys' thoughts on the whole, like, is Kanye being hyperbolic just to make a point? Is he saying something that, I'm not getting there, or is he like actually anti-Semitic? Like, what's going on with it?
I mean, I think he's right about it. I don't look. did a lot of research into that shit for years, for a long time.
Well, I mean, if you look at the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and the people who were in charge, and like, there's a video that I just saw of the Pope like kissing Rothschild's shoes and shit like that, like on TV. It's like, yeah, maybe there is something to it, but I don't hold all Jews accountable for the choices or the actions of the people who are the elite of
Well,
that group.
no, yeah, of course not. Yeah, you're not supposed to hold everybody accountable for it. For
Which is
few
what ends up
people do.
happening when you have messages like this sometimes. And I'm not saying that like that's right, but that's what ends up happening.
Well, I think he made it clear. I think he said that he's only trying to point out the ones that's doing it, that's
Yeah,
getting away behind the scenes. Because I mean, like I've been going through that all my life. It's kind of weird how if a black person says that they're Jewish, that
Jewish, yeah.
they get scoffed at, or looked at like in a skeptical manner. And if you go back and look, Jerusalem is right there on the outskirts of Africa.
Of Africa, yeah.
Right.
Jerusalem was just colonized.
Right, exactly.
Real
And so
bad.
if you
Black
look at
people are
Africa
the
right
real
now,
dudes.
if you look
Yeah.
at Africa, there's a lot of Europeans saying, "Oh, I'm African," right? And we know they're not African. We just know that they're colonized there, right? Because a lot of colonies in Europe, a lot of places in Europe colonized Africa. Same
Yeah.
thing with the United States. They came over here to the United States, took it over, right? Well, before United States, before Africa, and this isn't being anti-Semitic. This is just history. They did that in Jerusalem. They took
Yeah.
over Jerusalem. They took over Egypt and colonized Jerusalem and Egypt. Why? Because Jerusalem was at a center point. Why? Because Egypt was a main trade spot for that entire region. People from all over came and traded Egypt. So
And that's when they came over to America, because Africa and America was had a trade line going on between Africans and the Indians. And a lot of people don't know. Like me, for instance, I'm native Indian. While all of my heritage is Indian, but I'm dark skinned. I'm literally only like 25% black. And a lot of the slaves weren't actually African. A lot of the slaves were actually Indian and African tribes that were here already.
That's
All
correct.
the Africans didn't just come from the boat. It was
right,
already a whole lot of Africans already here.
Only
The own
1%,
tribes integrated with the Indians.
only 1% of the transatlantic slave trade made it to the U.S.
Yeah.
1%.
right,
There's no way to get 40 million plus black if there wasn't already black people here.
Already here, yeah.
A lot
And a
of the
lot of the
mulattoes,
people that they were saying were black were really just Indian.
right? A lot of the mulattoes were Indians, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they were just called mulattoes because they were darker Indians, and
Yep.
they had long dark hair just like the Indians, and they were allowed to sit on the front of the bus. It's like they can say I'm mulatto. Then you got go ahead.
Oh, good. Well, I was gonna say, did you guys watch what is it, The Woman King?
No, I didn't watch it.
So that
No.
it's based on a real story, and it's very, very loosely based. And the real story is there was a African kingdom, and what they did was go around to their neighbors, go to war with them, take men and women and children as prisoners, as slaves, and then trade them to European countries for arms and weapons and bullets and stuff like that, so that they could go back down and take more slaves and sell more of them.
Yep.
But like that's not what the movie was about. Like,
Right. And all the stories they could have put out in Hollywood, they choose that story.
Yeah.
Now,
So
why? Why is that?
Because they trash and racist.
They chose to glorify slave traders, man, and that was just like ridiculous, man, and turn into this heroic story for women. And I thought that was just bad decorum. Just everything was bad about that, man. I can't support that.
Yeah, that was disrespect.
Yeah,
if
man.
y'all now really open your eyes, there's a lady. Go on YouTube and type in Black Panther rates movies, and there's a lady who was a part of the Black Panthers, who rates the movies of the Black Panthers, and she pretty much called all of them caricatures and disrespectful. So like a lot of people will say, hey, it's just entertainment, blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, half the masses are going to think that there's truth to it. And that's what the entertainment industry is trying to go for, truth to change political reality.
They want to change the narrative. When you think of
Yeah,
Malcolm
they
X, they
just
want
want
you
to
to think of
erase it.
They don't want you to think of the real Malcolm X. They want you to think of the Malcolm X that they paint the picture of. When you watch a movie about Martin Luther King, they don't want you to know the real Martin Luther King. They want you to know the movie. They want you to know the movie version of Martin Luther King. That's how they change history. That's how they change culture and change minds of large masses of people through television. Television. That's how they do it. It's programming.
Yep.
And like he said, who owns those television shows? Who owns those movie? Who owns all that?
The Jews.
The European
people.
ones, yeah.
Yeah.
We were talking about Black Panther. I think it was last night or the night before the movie, and I was basically saying that I have a problem with some of the messaging that they had in that movie that was like, hey, black people, you've been oppressed. Hey, this and that, like this whole history of and it's to some extent true, and it's to some extent false history that they're trying to like rewrite, like you're saying. And they're using things like Black Panther, the movie, to like do that and to get that into the forefront of the mind of people today, to the point where the normal person who doesn't dive deep into these things and doesn't know history thinks they know history and then moves forward with their life with this idea of what the history actually was that's not true.
Do you know any
black-owned
banks?
I think there's five in the USA.
In the entire US.
I believe. There's a big one in
It's
Texas.
almost impossible. It's really hard to be a black man and start your own bank. Really hard.
That and the problem with a lot of that stuff
That's
is
like the hardest thing that you could do as a black person is start your own bank.
What are you saying, Corey?
I was just saying one of the bad things about that is people just will blindly believe whatever they're told instead of doing their own research and it's sad. Because if they did just a little bit of studying, a little bit of reading up on actual history, they could potentially unlock their mind.
Even Google is changing stuff. Like you can't even trust what you see and find on Google anymore.
Yeah.
Like, and they're changing what definitions are, to fit their narrative.
Yep.
Yeah, because like when I ask family members of mine, it's like, why do you vote Democrat? The only answer I get back from like them is because that's what I was told to do.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, that's it. It was like, yeah, that's just it. That's what I was told to do.
I know so many people like that. So many. That's just what I told. That's what the news said to do. The Republicans this and that. They saying that the Republicans is this and that. Well, I mean, think for yourself.
Well, and again, dude, if you're a black guy in America and you're like, I don't want to vote Democrat, what do they call you? What are the words that they use? And I can't even say that. Can't even say that.
Yeah.
Ruckus.
It's fucked up, dude. Like you should be supported in thinking for yourself. You should be like 100% supported in being an individual and going whatever direction you fucking want. We're called the land of the free, but we're not anymore, are we? It's not the land of the free and the home of the brave. It's the land of the fee and the home of the slave.
Right.
Yeah, look how they treat Ellen West,
Yeah. Dustin Butson says, Honda, you mind if I join in? Message you on Discord. Dude, we are full up on the chat tonight. Like someone kept trying to jump in because I sent out too many links, I guess. Like, I don't know, dude. Well, you send out links and usually like not everyone shows up, and everyone's showing up tonight. So Stephen Carroll says, thanks for the link. Wish I could have stuck around longer. Well, see, there you go. There was already like 2 other people trying to jump in because the fucking Discord kept sending me messages saying like, oh, this person and that person's trying to jump in. And I'm sorry, I can't let everybody in. Sucks. Is this the channel you were talking about? The Black Panther lady at the top here?
Yeah. I dare you guys to watch that on your own time or even play a clip. Like, man, like for her to say that about each movie she reviewed, it just shows the complete BS that's going on.
Nice. Yeah, we can't unfortunately play clips because of what I was talking about earlier with StreamYard changing their shit. But
right,
I encourage people to go
what to buy already, bro.
What's that?
I done told you what to buy to fix this problem.
Yeah. Well, I had to buy the other shit for that British 303 gun that wasn't working. One thing at a time. I still want
Yeah,
that
I
motor.
my mouse in the gun.
Oh yeah.
Matt, did you get a 37 yet?
No, I didn't. No.
Yeah, sorry, Dustin. Maybe next time. I'll put you on the list of people I send links to. Like, it's not always full up, so next time.
Dustin, if you ever want to come on my chat, you can just ask.
See, there you go. All right, 9/11 lies. No black boxes found. Building 7 was an obvious demolition. Towers came down in 11 seconds. Free fall acceleration. No debris. Everything was pulverized to dust by explosives. Fake media footage. Media is complicit. Mossad and CIA installed the bombs. Nanothermite. Steel buildings penetrated by aluminum hollow planes. Whatever that word is. Sequences throughout the WTC. Plane holes fit in whatever pattern. Fibroquinity power? I don't know what the fuck that is. Gold was stolen from the vaults, if you guys don't know, from underneath. There's a truck that made it halfway out and they had to abandon it because it was about to blow. Put options placed on related companies the night before. Yeah, the insider trading that was going on. Zionist leaseholder Larry Silverstein skipped work that day, and so did his children. George H.W. Bush talked about a new world order. There you go. 9/11 was the catalyst for this to happen. Ask yourself, did the NSA, TSA, DHS, and FEMA make you feel safer? What are you guys' thoughts on 9/11?
If they could fake the moon, the being on the moon, they could fake 9/11. So
I think, oh, go ahead.
Nah, that's it for me.
Okay, I think, like I said, I said this before, like just like with Pearl Harbor, that they knew the Japanese was coming, but they let it happen to get us in the war. I think it's the same thing with this. They knew it was going to happen, and they let it happen just to give us more bigger government and get us more into like the Middle East and stuff like that, and carry on these wars in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, I've been saying that for a while. Like, even if you 100% believe everything that happened on 9/11 was exactly the way that the government said it was, look at what they did afterwards. Department of Homeland Security. You've got like war in Iraq and Afghanistan, increase of the military budget, increase of the power of government to spy on you. Like, all of these things that they wanted to happen, they used that as an excuse, even if it was real. And I don't think it was. So
sometimes I want to ask Alexa if she worked for the CIA. No, I'm just playing. Sit in my house.
No, that's Cortana. Let's get it right now.
Well, there was one time my wife was messing with the Alexa or Siri, whatever the hell you want to call it, on her phone, and just jokingly asked, "Where is a good place to hide a body?" And it like made a beep sound and then said nothing. But like a couple days later, it came back and said, "The body is hidden. The body is hidden."
Whoa.
Hillary Clinton's Rose Garden. That would be the answer.
Yeah.
Oh man, what was their code name on South Park on the Snook episode? Oh, it was Hill Dog.
Oh my god, I forgot about that. Oh my god, I love South Park. Jesus Christ, those guys are so genius.
She has a snook up her sniz.
The Snoop. Illegal border crossings to U.S. from Mexico hit annual high, and it's not annual high. It is because of the surge in migration from Venezuelan, Cuban, Nicaragua, brought the border crossings to the highest level ever this last year. Now, what do you think that does to the housing market? What do you think that does to the labor market? What does that do when you go out and look for a job and you're trying to get a better rate for your fucking hours of work? Now you've got competition from 10 million new people, especially if it's like, like trash man or, like some kind of like low skill labor kind of thing where you're just working, which is honestly most jobs, right?
Yeah.
Now you're competing with this whole group of people. Whereas if there were closed borders and if there was regulated immigration to this country, then your labor would be worth a lot more. If there was closed borders and regulated immigration, then the house that you're trying to buy wouldn't be worth as much as it is because there wouldn't be the competition that there is to buy it. It's hurting us. It's not hurting the people on top. It's hurting the people on the bottom. It's hurting the people in the middle, to be honest. It's hurting everybody but the people with the most power and the most money. And that's why it keeps happening. Because you've got this two-party politics system that work together like a WWF situation where, you know, on stage they're fighting against each other and the fucking curtains close and they're drinking beers.
Yeah, I don't know where you guys are from, but over here in California, they just need to lower the rent because you got people in Silicon Valley right now that's teachers that are living in RVs instead of in their apartments because the apartments are like $3,000 a month over in Silicon Valley. I mean, even in a regular spot, 2-bedroom apartment would be like almost $1,500, $2,000. So they need to fix that first. But I mean, everything that you said is right. But I mean, there's enough homes to house a lot of people, but there's a lot of empty homes. If you ever go look at the demographics of the homes, of the empty homes, it's bad. And then what you just said on top of that, that's worse. But meanwhile, all the money is going into the politicians' pockets and they're getting paid for not working. So now we have a double problem. All the vacant homes and what you just said.
Yep. Sorry, I had to grab a water. Water.
A water.
What?
Well, I mean,
you guys are some solid dudes. I like this show.
Thanks, man. Yeah, dude. I mean, like it's really a problem that's, again, propagandized to the people on the left, and it used to be the people on the right. And it's funny how things have changed, right? Because if you go back to like 2001, 2002, 2003, when it was the Bush Republican, you know, era of America that was in charge, and there was illegal immigration going on back then, who was fighting against it? It was the Democrats, right? On paper or whatever. And now there's illegal immigration going on, and who's fighting against it? It's the Republicans. Who's supporting it? It's the Democrats. It's like the board got switched. Like we're playing chess, and I was white and you were black, and now like you were winning, so I switched the board when you got a water bottle from your fridge just now. Wait, you switched it on me. Shit.
Somebody needs to make a chart of that because I think since the days of Abraham Lincoln, it switched about 4 or 5 times since the days of Abraham Lincoln. So I wish that somebody could make a chart of that on how many times it has switched. The policies of both have switched. It's an interesting study.
Yeah.
It's funny though, because like the switching of the board or whatever seems to be increasing in frequency, right? Because back when, you know, going back to that time period when Bush was in charge and stuff like that, I voted Democrat. Why? Because they were the party of free speech. They were the party of the working class. They were the party of like individual freedom, right? Back when Jon Stewart was funny and Saturday Night Live was funny. And now it's like, you know, Jon Stewart's woke and Saturday Night Live doesn't tell jokes anymore, and the left is fucking crazy. So, and that was only 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah, one word, lobbyist. Lobbyists are the main driving force behind those changes. I won't get into all of it, but that's all I'll say about that.
Well, we need to get special interests out of DC. We need to hold these politicians accountable. We need to make sure that they can't be like making insider trader deals where they're making billions of dollars off of decisions that they have inside information for. You know, like, I don't know, like, oh, there's going to be an oil crisis, so I'm going to sell all my shit in oil because the stocks are going to go down. And, oh, we changed policy, so now I'm going to buy back into oil before the policy goes into effect. It's like, I don't have that kind of information. And there was I forget what it was. It was something that was following Nancy Pelosi's fucking stock trades on 4chan, I think it was.
No, it was a Reddit page.
Oh, okay, it was Reddit.
Shut it down.
Yeah, and Reddit shut it down because there were too many people getting too fucking rich because they were copying her fucking stock trades.
Yeah.
Like she
Isn't Gavin Newsom her nephew or something like that?
Yeah, Newsom.
Yeah, Newsom
He's
is.
her step nephew.
Yeah,
By
he
marriage.
made $1 billion deal with China for like masks and stuff like that, and so that's why they had to put the mask mandates in effect, not for the safety of the people, but because if they got off all those masks, he would get rich off the stocks of it. So it's not necessarily that they care about the people. It is special interests, like
Well,
Honda said.
and why do you think they fucking made it so that like the CDC just unanimously voted 15-0 to mandate that all school children who are attending public school need to be vaccinated with the shot? Like, are those people making money off of that vaccine? Are they the ones who have the stock in that company and in Pfizer or whatever? 100%. I would bet money that they do. I don't have proof that they do, but if I had money to bet and someone wanted to bet against me, I will fucking tag that bet.
I ain't gonna lie. I made hundreds of dollars off of Moderna during the pandemic. So, I mean, I seen it coming. I brought stock in Moderna, made hundreds of dollars, pulled it out right before it fell. So
you're the New World Order. Got it.
Hey, you know, I just had to get that. I just had to get that money. It was gonna happen regardless. So nobody was listening to me at the time. So I was like, you know what? I'll just get my money off of it. I hate to admit that, but it got me.
I wish that I had, dude. I thought about buying some money in this oil company. It was $7 a stock when I was looking at it, and it's 70 now. And I'm like, motherfucker, I wish I would have money in that.
Yeah.
MSB 9021 dropped in 10 and said, excellent show tonight. Regulars stepping up and new guys just killing it. You're right up there with never enough ammo. LOL.
Oh, blessings, blessings. Hey, well, hey, if it's cool, if you don't mind inviting me back another day, I got to go pick up my daughter. I do the daddy thing too. I got 50-50 custody. I go do the same thing with courts. And so it's good to meet some solid brothers, and shout out to the people making comments. You guys are all solid. I love this.
All right, man. Hey, before you leave, I don't have your channel in the link in the description. Drop it in the private chat, and I'll drop it in the chat so people can check you out.
Oh, I'm in the process of making my channel because I've been doing clientele for like local and community, and so Moxie was like, "Hey, make a channel." I was like, "All right, cool," you know.
All right, well, next time then. That's all good. But yeah,
all right,
thank
then,
you,
peace, brothers.
All right, see ya.
Yeah, later. Good to meet
See
you.
man. Good to meet you.
Well, shit, I should send Dustin Butson a link now. we've only got a half an hour left till this show's done, and I got to go pick up my son from work. So there's that. All right, what do you guys think about Ethan Klein? I owe everyone a huge apology for my actions these past 2 years. I've hurt a lot of people, and in the process ruined my good reputation. But I'm trying my hardest to do better, to be better. Win you back. I've already lost 25 pounds in the last 2 months. I'm sorry for becoming fat. Is that what he's apologizing for? Is fucking getting fat? Because there's a lot of things that like I'd be pissed off at him well before him putting on some weight. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I could care less
This
about
comment is
that.
bullshit. Right. This comment straight bullshit.
Well, and toeing the party line, and like when they were talking about like the CDC regulations and what they're trying to tell people to do, he's like, you don't got to think about it. You just read the thing and you do it. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, how about you think for yourself, and how about you encourage other people to think for themselves rather than just toeing the party line and telling people to do what they're told?
Amen.
Yep.
Yeah, like he was definitely trolling.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's this story. Denver Police Department is seeing some success with the department's focus on specific locations with high crime, but shootings are still on a rise citywide. In fact, Denver has the highest violent crime rate with firearms in the history of Denver currently. And I was writing, like, as a response to that, or at least in my retweet, that but Colorado and Denver specifically have some of the toughest gun control in the entire country. How could this happen? It's funny how that works, right? Wherever you have the toughest gun control, New York, Los Angeles, Chicago, is like the places that the most people are getting hurt with guns.
Yep.
Democrat land thing? Yeah.
It's not about really guns. It's more about, keeping the fucking populace weak and submissive.
Mm-hmm.
They
Well,
don't
I
want
mean-
you to think for yourself. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself. They want you deaf, dumb, and blind.
Well, the thing is, like, I've said this for a while now, is that the government has the opposite of the Midas touch. Whatever they touch turns to shit, right? Like, oh, let's get involved in housing. Housing's more expensive than ever. Hey, let's get involved with student loans. Now, how much does college cost? Like everything they touch just turns to fucking hell. And they keep touching stuff, and people keep rooting for them to get fucking involved with things. It's like, when are people going to learn the lesson that, like, the government isn't the fucking solution?
Well, that, let me say this real quick. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm driving right now.
Hey, Big, you kind of low though.
Okay, yeah, I'm kind of driving right now. My phone kept overheating, so it kept kicking me out the chat. So I'm like, okay, let me drive with the air conditioning on a little bit, get this phone cooled down. But let me say this, man. You know what? I forgot what I was going to say. I had something I was going to say, and I lost it. I'll back down again. Let you guys finish. I just lost what I was about to say.
You're good, dude. It happens. It happens to me too sometimes. Not so much now that I don't smoke weed anymore, to be honest. But yeah, it still happens.
Maybe that's what it is, man. It's the weed. But I promised it was going to be profound, but then I lost it. I just lost it.
Okay, have you guys? This is fake. This is funny though. I like it. The Congressional Reform Act of 2023. This isn't actually a thing. No tenure, no pension. Congressional women/men collect salaries while in office and receive no pay while they're out of office. Congress, past, present, and future, participates in Social Security, meaning like that's how they get their retirement. All funds in the Congressional Retirement Fund move to the Social Security system immediately. All future funds flow from Social Security system, and Congress participates with the American people. It may be used for it may not be used for other purposes. Congress can purchase their own retirement plan, just as all Americans do. Congress will no longer vote themselves pay raises. Congressional pay raised by the lower of CPI or 3%. Congress loses their current health care benefits system and participates in the same health care system as the American people. Congress must equally abide by all laws they impose on the American people. All contracts with past and present congressmen and women are void and effective 12/1/2022. The American people did not make these contracts with congresswomen/men. I wish they did some shit like this.
Oh yeah, definitely. And okay, Honda, who you think should handle who should handle if Congress should get a pay raise or not?
Ron Paul.
No, it should be one of those times when it is a direct vote by the people.
That's what I've always thought as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Anything having to do with that particular aspect of government, i.e., we're voting on things that directly affect, representatives or whatever, their pay, their insurance, anything like that. It should not be up to them to fucking vote on it. And the only other people that there is in the equation is the people, is us. We are the ones who should vote on whether or not they get pay raises or what insurance they get or any of that shit. Shouldn't be up to them.
Is this Dustin Budson, Captain BBY? I don't know. I don't know who that is. I was gonna send him a link, but then never mind. Do you guys think you had a better childhood without cell phones, tablets, and social media?
Hell
all these
yeah.
teens have today?
Absolutely, no doubt about it.
I always say I miss the good old days before fucking cell phones and internet. Cell phones are just a fucking electronic leash.
Yep.
Well, I remember I'd hop on my bicycle at 8 o'clock in the morning during the summer, and we'd go cause havoc and go here and go there and play basketball and go to the park and like run around and do stuff. And the only time I came home was because dinner was ready and I was starving. So
Right. Right. And I think I said this before. I don't know if I said it live, but I remember saying on one of the back chats. If I had Disney Plus when I was a kid, I would never leave the house.
Dude, or the porn that these kids have these days, dude.
Oh.
Like I remember like having like a picture and like, you know, you still have to use your imagination and like all that stuff. Like now it's like you got fucking everything you could ever possibly think of and more at your fingertips on demand for free.
Right.
Yep.
It's insane what they have today.
Yep. You just have to look at the JCPenney catalog or like the Sears bra and panty section of the catalog. Imagination.
Or like finally got internet, right? It was like a 56K modem. Like, oh, I'm gonna go online and find some porn. It was a picture that you'd find, and it'd take you about 5 minutes to download it. And then, like, you know, someone picks up the phone in the middle of it, and you're like, okay, got to start over. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Things don't change.
Dustin said he is Captain Nibby.
Okay. All right. Except
reported spam.
There you go. All right, where were we? Oh, here's what I was talking about with the Pope. Watch this shit. Okay, I got to start it over. Here's like a common person who holds on to his hand because she wants to be blessed by the Pope or something. And he's like, that slaps her hand. Get off of me. Fuck you, peasant. Oh, here's some leaders of countries in business. What does he do? Gets down on his knees and kisses their shoes.
Fuck the Pope.
Yeah.
He's worked with tits on the boar hog.
And here he is at some weird satanic thing. And who's this in the background? You got Rothschild, you got Rockefeller, you've got I guess just Rothschild and Rockefeller, whatever. But still, dude, like, who's in power? Not us. Who's he giving homage to? Yep. All right, what is woke? Suspension of free speech in the name of protecting feelings, teaching gender ideology to children, teaching critical race theory and promoting a notion of white privilege, denying biological differences between men and women, promoting gender transition to children. Would you guys add anything to that list?
Hey, that's what is woke?
Yeah, woke.
Yeah, what is woke?
What is the definition of woke? Because Cenk Uygur is on here saying woke has become like socialism. No one ever defines it. It's generally used by the dumbest people as the dumbest critique. They don't even know what it means other than the left doesn't hate black and gay people like we do. It's like, dude, Cenk Uygur, the guy who's talking about like if he was the president, the first thing that he would legalize is fucking goddamn goats and shit. Did you guys hear that? My God.
No.
Yeah, that was some weird shit when he said that.
Yeah, even Anna Kasparian was like, dude, really? Like,
yeah, you could tell she was not comfortable when he said that.
For me, woke is trying to treat black people like children.
Yep.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. We too dumb, poor, and stupid to get a ID.
yeah,
That's what they think of us.
but you better get your vaccine passport, eh?
Right.
Yeah, being woke is using celebrity to get you to take the jab.
I thought the jab was like a giant IQ test. Like, hey, everybody, get the jab. And everyone who's got a low IQ is like, you got it. But even some of the smart people did it. And then they have to double down like, oh, you're wrong and I'm right. They do the Yankee Marshall thing where even if I'm wrong, I'm right for a different reason. You know?
Yeah.
Well, they say people are cheaper. So.
I mean, if you really needed the jab, out of all the doctor's visits I had, did not one of them ask me, did I get the jab? Now, if we really needed it, I think that would be one of the first questions they would have asked.
Go to man, get Kaiser insurance, and you'll get asked all the time. Have you got the flu shot? Have you got the jab? They will hound you and even try to talk down to you because you don't get it. You don't get the flu shot or the jab. So you don't got
Dude,
Kaiser.
that's why I like my doctor, because like I went there for a checkup, and like on the door they had a note saying, "Sorry, we don't do the jab here. Like if you want it, go somewhere else," kind of thing. Like we don't recommend anyone gets it, even if you're 80. Like fuck you, dude. I guess I can't talk about that because that was after the chat from last night. But that story that dude told us last night, oh my god, fuck me. All right, did you guys see this video?
Yes, I just watched it today.
This is
Can't see it.
this is in the New York subway, right? Just watch. I assume he doesn't know this guy.
Nope.
Oh,
But
he
he's
got
more-
paid. He got paid to do that.
You think?
Yeah,
Uh,
man. People ain't
Pure
just
evil.
doing that for no reason, man.
Man, that was a hit. Look, he put his backpack down when he saw his target.
But that's just a random dude, or he knew something. He got paid to do that. Ain't nobody just doing that stuff just for no reason, just to random people.
But people are doing
I think, man, nah. I think this crime spike and stuff in these places. These people is getting handed money to go do just to do random stuff, just to inflate the numbers and stuff, just to pass like gun control and stricter laws and all that stuff. Just
It's
like
backed by the
9/11.
Bloomberg. It's backed by the Bloombergs and the Soros.
Yeah, all these they getting paid to do this stuff, to raise this crime, and just, man, one thing I could tell you about black people, when we do stuff, it's because we beefing with somebody or somebody disrespected us or something. We don't just attack just random people for absolutely no reason.
Yeah, you don't do random.
Yeah, we don't do that.
That's for sure. That's a fact. This dude, I mean, look at his outfit. Look at how he's dressed. He doesn't look like he's broke. He doesn't look like he's hungry. He doesn't look like he need anything.
Nothing.
This dude is getting paid.
Yeah.
This dude is an op. He's an agent, man.
I mean, I would agree with you guys, except for I mean, maybe that's going on, but it seems like it's happening a lot because of the messaging that's going on. You know, like you teach these kids in school about critical race theory and how
He not no
you're
kid.
oppressed because of.
He not a kid. That dude at least 30 years old.
But it filters up though too. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm right and you're wrong. I'm just saying like maybe it's the messaging that's happening. That is all.
No, man, a lot of these Democrat cities with all this super high crime raising out of nowhere. Well, like with the robberies and stuff I see, but a lot of stuff with the killings of random people is mainly the killings are just completely just random killings. That's not normal.
Did that dude die? Did we know what happened to that guy?
Let's see. I'm not sure.
Did he just get hurt or something, or you know?
Hate crime.
I think my thing is this. Maybe like maybe with this incident here, maybe this is just a scare tactic. You know, that guy was. You know, you saw how he put his backpack down when he saw. You know, it was almost like he was waiting for his target. He was waiting for something. He was going to do something. And then as soon as he found the person he was going to do it to, he put his backpack down, looked both ways, and then charged at him. That's a that's a hit.
Yeah, no, what? If he was just a crazy guy, like I think he wouldn't have put his foot back down. He would just ran at him.
Yeah, he would have just ran at him. And then that's not necessarily crazy people like that. They don't necessarily run away.
Yeah, they don't run away.
If he's crazy, why are you gonna run? Why are you gonna all of a sudden become cognizant of you did something wrong and run away? If you're crazy, you don't know you did anything wrong.
That's true.
This guy's saying he wasn't injured at all. I don't know. This is just people commenting on the thread below, so who fucking knows? But
yeah, it didn't like he hit no third rail or no train came by.
Right, and like that's the thing. You don't see like immediately a train like coming up or whatever. But
and the new thing is you got to watch out for the new thing too. Is what they like to do. They like to hire a lot of immigrants who are not really, who look black, right? They're the color, but they're not from this country. You know what I'm saying? They're getting paid to do little things like this. That's the new thing,
to
especially
raise crime and stuff. Yeah.
man.
Yeah,
They're
kind
using
of like with Jesse Smollett.
people with janky hairlines and trying to get them to do crime, but on black people.
Okay, but what about the Daryl Brooks situation? Right, like right after the
Kenosha.
the Kenosha kid fucking got his trial, and he was let off for shooting the 3 people, killing 2 or whatever.
I'm not familiar with that. I apologize. I'm not familiar with that.
So that was what is his name? I
Well,
can't
we know
remember.
about Kenosha.
Kyle
Yeah, Kyle
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse. You don't know
We
about the
know
Kyle
about
Rittenhouse
that.
story?
Yeah, I know about Kyle Rittenhouse. Yeah.
We talking
So
about
like
Daryl
right
Brooks.
after the Kyle Rittenhouse story, like right after the trial rather, like he was acquitted and let go, and there was a huge outrage in the black community, in certain parts of the black community, about the fact that like here's this white kid running around with a gun and he crossed state lines and shot black people and all this stuff, and turns out like yeah, he crossed state lines, but it was the next city over. And yeah, he was underage when it happened, but legally he was allowed to carry that gun. And yeah, like he shot people, but none of them were black.
And
like,
he never brought the gun across state lines. It was already
Right.
over there.
Yeah.
exactly. So like all of these like misinformation things, and then you get Daryl Brooks, who hops in his SUV and plows through a Christmas parade, like
Oh,
running over
yeah,
children and
yeah.
women and like families and shit like that. Like, I don't think anyone paid him. I think that was ideological. I think that was like something.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that the two
was,
were necessarily connected, because he's never said that they were, but he wouldn't say that they were, would he?
No, but the media said he didn't plow into it. The SUV did.
Yeah, this is
Not him.
Yeah.
Not him.
Yeah, it was the SUV.
Didn't
That
Brooks
dude's
do
just
a rap
batshit
song or something
crazy.
before that, where he
Pure
was
evil.
talking about similar shit to doing that?
Well, like he's got like this rap video that he produced that's all about like I'm gonna kill white people and this and this. Like, dude, like, stop it, please. Like, stop the hate, man.
See, when they do stuff like that, man, I just look at it. I just look at it differently. I just look at it like, I don't know many people that will broadcast that, will make a video like that, and then go out and actually do it. You see what I'm saying? To me, it seems like there has to be somebody behind that, somebody putting a battery in his back, some way, some shape or form. There's got to be somebody. They don't necessarily have to be funding it, but they definitely have to be influencing it. Somebody's influencing that person to do something like that.
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's still people to this day that believe that Kyle actually killed black people in Kenosha.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he could have been manipulated into doing it just by all the the false narrative that they've been pushing.
I look at what happened to Nipsey Hussle. Like that was definitely a paid hit. Dude came up and shook Nipsey Hussle's hand and then came back and shot him.
Yeah, that was. He said he was paid to do it. He even came out and was honest about it.
Yeah.
And it was the day after he got out of jail. You go shoot Nipsey Hussle. Like,
Yeah.
what?
I
You
mean,
just got out yesterday and you already got a gun and you shoot Nipsey Hussle. Don't nothing add up there.
yeah. All I'm saying is not everything is not everything is a government shield or an op, but you gotta pay attention. You gotta just you almost have to just
Do you know
people.
why? Do you know why Nipsey had to go? Because he
Oh.
was putting out a documentary about Dr. Sabi and the natural cure for cancer and stuff.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And that's
Big Pharma can't have that.
right. See, when I went to Africa, man, I met with a lot of doctors out there, man, and a lot of you'd be surprised at how many of them doctors are also brainwashed by big pharma medicine. But there are like the local doctors, man, they're on a different level, man. Their herbs actually work, man.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
it's tons of cures for cancer. It's more than one. Like there's tons of them.
I met this dude, man, and I was trying to. I wish I would have took a picture of it, but he has a book, and he written down all the different type of plants and their healing mechanism, and he has like a whole book. It's like a scrapbook, but I wish I could have got a hold of that thing and printed that thing out and brought it back to the States. I mean, this
Oh
doctor was
yeah, you bet not had did that. They'd have got you.
Yeah.
They'd
The
have definitely got
pharmaceutical
you.
companies with the whole cancer thing, it's a money making machine.
Yeah,
If
they'd
they
have
had a
got you
cure of
for it.
cancer come out right now, they would lose their asses, financially
You
real
know,
quick.
you know what's crazy?
They already got the cure for cancer, man.
Yeah, you can
Oh, I
look up.
believe it.
You
I
can
believe
look
it.
up. You can look up court
Oh,
cases of it being blocked. You like it's legit court cases that you can look up of it being blocked.
Yeah,
I
they have the
believe
cure already. You can Google it. They have the cure
Yeah,
already.
for years. So they done had it for a long time.
Yeah,
We're just
I believe that they have a cure for everything out there,
Everything.
but they make more money off of people being sick than they do curing them.
I believe they have a cure for everything because here's the thing: they're not gonna put nothing out that's gonna affect them.
Fix
And
you.
if they
Yeah.
do, they gotta have something to fix it. So I believe that you're right. All the so-called diseases that they have, because they invented them, right? They're the one that created these. They got the cure for it also.
How you think the Rothschilds lived for so long?
Well,
Yeah,
I mean, you
I
look
mean
at
They just died
that's
of
just
old
like
age.
And George Soros.
Yeah, they just died
yeah,
of old age. That's it. Not nothing. Not no diseases or nothing. Just old age.
and
well, I
that's
mean, you
like now they got that fucking new strain of COVID that they came out with that has an 80% kill rate.
Mhm.
well,
They're
they made
gonna.
that. But
I
here's the
know they
thing, though.
did.
Like, what is going on with the COVID vaccine? Like, why do you need 5 shots? Why are they going to need the 6th shot? Well, that's because it's perfect for them because they can always give you another shot and they always make more money. Same
Yep.
thing with like oil companies buying up patents for alternative forms of energy production, right? Same thing there. Like they can make more money drilling for oil and producing fucking gasoline and diesel and stuff like that. They don't want some competition for it. Oh, like I guess we can have solar and wind because they don't work that great because you got to use a whole bunch of energy to get them and like all that stuff with the batteries and the lithium and all that shit. Like there are alternative answers to some of these problems that have been come up with, and I don't think it's like every disease that they have a cure for, but I certainly think that there's a lot of diseases they have cures for that big pharma has bought up and said like, oh, we're never releasing this one.
Yep.
That'll lose us billions.
That's
Well,
literally
that's
what the
like
court cases are
what
about.
that movie Outbreak about the Ebola virus. Remember how they discovered the cure for that, and then they lock it up and they have a vault that as far as I could see, you could see different vaults. So I firmly believe that they have a cure for fucking everything out there.
Yeah, I think they got a cure for literally everything.
believe that
And
too.
it's not a whole lot of stuff that like really like that are like kill you. A lot of the diseases won't necessarily kill you. It's not a whole lot of them.
How big would the population explode if they had cures for all the STDs?
Oh God, if they had
That's a point, and there is like definitely something to that. Is like what if everyone's life expectancy went to 120? And like the
Yeah,
birth rate stays the same and everything else stays the same. 120 is the average age that people live to. Like
that'll probably be pretty bad.
we're gonna have some population issues,
Yeah,
Right.
and that's probably why they keep a lot of the stuff hidden and money. That and money.
and that's another reason why they keep pushing abortion so hard, right? Because
Yeah,
they're like,
I was just about to
hey,
say that.
yeah, like we don't, like you're in this undesirable group of people, or even like you're just a person. It's not even necessarily about groups anymore because like they're telling like rich liberal people that like, oh, having kids is bad stuff and you're doing a good thing for the environment by not having children.
And it's white supremacy too, because you're bringing another white child into the world.
Yeah, the people who listen to that are brainwashed though, man.
So here's the stat for you guys, man. So what they're saying is like with abortion and with the deleting of all these babies, right? They're saying that the population is dying because it doesn't have a double. Meaning we're no longer having 2 or more kids. We're
Yeah,
having 2 or
one
more.
and done. Or
So
none.
in the in the white race, they're having 1.6 babies per family.
Yeah, and that's the brainwashing effect, dude. That's like the effect of this societal change that's happened that's made people fucking hate themselves because they're being taught that in school.
But
They're
yeah,
being
but
taught in
they
school.
talk they talk about the white race losing babies, and that's why they have to ban abortion and things like that. But the same mirror effect what happened with the white race is also happening with the black race. We are at white race is at 1.6 per baby. The black race is at 1.9. So
Well,
we're two.
there's a statistic in America. Like if you're black and you're in the womb, you have a 50-50 chance of making it out alive because of the abortion rate.
Well, yeah. I mean, shit. That's the way it is, man.
But it's higher for the white family.
Yeah.
That's why they're trying to get rid of it, because with which I can't really say it's racist though, because with the immigration, everybody coming over here, and the black population is having more babies than the white population. White people just trying to basically they just trying to survive and keep themselves relevant, which I don't really see too much wrong with that. I mean, that's what.
But you got to also know that it's not by that much.
It's not by that much, no. But because they want to stay on top.
We'll all be Hispanic soon enough. Don't worry.
Yeah. And that's not even a joke. That's dead ass.
They're doubling their race. They're doubling. They're having 2 or more kids per family. Hispanics are.
That's like half my family right now.
Yep.
I thought this was funny. That face you make when you travel 150 years into the future and you see what the Democrats have done to the country. He's just missing the hat, man. That's all he needs is the hat. He's there.
Yeah, he better stay out of theaters too.
Yeah.
Yeah, stay away from the 4th theater.
Other than that, Miss Lincoln, how was the show?
Right.
Abraham Lincoln was like an Andrew Tate anyway, man. He was supposedly biracial and mixed.
Yeah.
Well, from what I understand, as far as the Civil War goes, like it wasn't necessarily fought because of slavery. It was only like slavery and the Emancipation Proclamation was only brought in like halfway through the war because it was a way to get more black people on the front lines of the war so that the North could win. Right? You can get slaves from the South to escape and come north and join the fucking Union Army and fight against the slave owners that used to own them or whatever. Like, perfect. Let's do that. Let's make that happen. And then, yeah, he got shot and killed or whatever and all that. But it wasn't originally about that. It was originally about states' rights and who gets to decide what gets made where in tax rates and things like that.
They like the South making all that money, man. The South with its own economy by itself. And they didn't want the South to succeed because they would lose all that money.
I saw this. I thought it was hilarious. Some black dude showed up in chains to a Civil War reenactment.
Yeah.
And all the Southern white dudes are like, "What's y'all doing here?" It's comedy genius, right?
Yes, that was a very funny clip.
Yeah.
And then he kicked off his sandal.
They're like, "You're not supposed to be wearing sandals." He just kicks them off.
The dude rides in on the horse.
Yeah, it's always some Karen telling everyone what to do, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's always some Karen being like, "I know better. I have the rules. You need to listen to me. Why aren't you doing what I tell you to do?" Fucking mother hen. Fuck you. Shut the fuck up.
What I heard back during slavery days, it was the white women was the ruthless ones. Like all the heinous shit, it was from the white women.
They still do. They still are, man.
Yeah, well, you're right. It's still happening now.
Ask some white men how ruthless their women are. They're crazy.
Yeah, and it was a white dude that I heard it from that was telling me. He said, he was like, "This was the white ladies was the ruthless ones."
Dude, very fast, man. Very fast.
Well, and some of the biggest atrocities were done on behalf of the white women. Like a white woman would get raped or whatever. Like, what do you think those lynch mobs were about? You know,
Exactly.
Claiming
yeah.
rape.
And half the time it was probably she was having sex with a black guy, not she got
Yeah,
raped.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she just didn't want to admit it because then it would have been her name that would have been besmirched or whatever. They're dumping cotton out on the ground. My fucking God. Oh man.
How was that black man on that mask?
All right, guys. Well, it's been an hour and a half, which is normally about how long we go for the chat. My son is texting me, telling me he's off of work now, and I have to come pick him up. So I have to end it. Unfortunately, we're having a great conversation, though. I do appreciate everybody for showing up, and you guys are welcome back and all that stuff. But anyway, I hope everyone out there's enjoyed the show and is having a great night. And we'll see you tomorrow night on Never Enough Ammo's channel for the Guns and Geeks podcast, or what are you calling it now? You're not even here, are you? All right.
Sleep.
Duked out. Dookie doo.
Oh, Dookie.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody for showing up. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
All right,
Peace.
man.
See you guys.
Yeah.